So it's been about 1 week since Miyabi has released. Want to give you guys a chance to play her in different game modes, Shield Defense, Deadly Assault, kind of get a feel for the character. So now I have to ask the question. Do you think Miyabi is too strong? Because every time she's on the battlefield, everything just disappears. And that's with low investment or high investment. Like, it doesn't matter how much investment you have in Miyabi, you're definitely able to see how much more powerful she is over everybody else. Which, in my opinion, I'm totally fine with that. Because I love when a character who's very, very strong within the lore, like, actually translates into the gameplay and like the game itself, right? Like, Miyabi is a void hunter and it should feel like it, right? Like, as a player, you should feel that title. Could you imagine if Miyabi was like a little bit better than Ellen? Like, she would never hear the end of it. People have waited for years for this character. They saw her in the beta, they've been waiting all this time. Imagine she finally comes out and she's just like, okay. Like, the criticism would be through the roof. Imagine if she was actually like worse than Ellen Joe. Like, imagine if her clear times were a little bit slower or her multipliers were a little bit lower. I mean, forget about it, right? So if anything, I feel like it was the right move because it already gives her the attention that she already had warranted prior to her release. So now that she's actually here, it's like, oh, she's here. You feel her presence. But of course, with how these games work, having one character is not going to cut it, right? You're going to have teams. So Miyabi doesn't just make every other character obsolete, right? But she most definitely has the highest multipliers in the game, that's for sure. But it's also a matter of strength versus playstyle, right? Like, for me, for example, I grew very quickly to not really like Ellen Joe's charge attack. You know, you get interrupted when you do it, or you can rather. You can get stumbled, you can get staggered, and you kind of have to do it if you want to get your ice infusion. There are ways to do it without actually doing the charge attack, but from a more practical and general way of doing it, you know, you got to just do the ching, you know, like the charge attack to actually get your ice infusion. So if you're like me and you don't really like that, imagine having to do that every single time to get your ice infusion, just to have another character who's also ice just out damage you for a lot less work. Usually when a character takes a lot of time to like ramp up their damage or like charge up, or they have this complicated mechanic, usually that means their damage pays off. That's like the balance, right? It's kind of a complicated road to get there, but once you get there, boom, the damage shows up. So with that logic, take it as you will. So we got Ellen Joe, charge attack or X special attack. You get ice infusion, attack, right? Unga bunga. Miyabi, fill up the Fallen Frost stacks, the blue flames under her face, and you can do that by having other characters proc disorder, doing your own X special attack, doing your ultimate, or doing Frost Burn Break. So a lot of different ways to get those stacks up, but really it's just get the stacks up. So Miyabi sounds a lot more complicated on paper than Ellen does, for sure, but I guess to that logic I just mentioned, it checks out. But it's about how you get there, right? With Miyabi, you just do 3 basic attacks and you already have your ice infusion, right? It's like super fast. She does it at the speed of like Mach 5. And no shade to Ellen, all right? No shade to Ellen. I'm still gonna use her a lot, honestly. I know the difference is quite grand between her and Miyabi, but I'm still gonna use my Ellen. Also, Yanagi was considered to be like the biggest damage dealer prior to Miyabi's release, right? You know, with the high disorder procs and, you know, that popping off left and right. Now she actually can be played with Miyabi in the same team. I mean, it's like Saitama and freaking Ultra Instinct Goku on the same freaking team. Like, wow. That doesn't mean the other characters can't clear. It just means Miyabi's gonna do it a lot faster. And now for the elephant in the room.
Elephant? I'm a fox, Thyron.
What does this mean for the future DPS units, right? So people like Evelyn, or members from the Virtual Idol group, or members from Obel Squad. Like, I mean, are they all doomed? Well, here's the thing. I think with future DPS characters like Evelyn, for example, her power level in itself won't be on the same as Miyabi, right? Because Miyabi, once again, is a void hunter. I feel like they want to stick to that title meaning something. But Evelyn will be kind of close to Miyabi once you have crazy supports like Chaotic Fried Rice, for example, right? Throw her and Evelyn together with like Lighter or, you know, somebody else, and now with all the buffs coming together, okay, well now it's actually pretty close, right? It's very obvious and self-explanatory, you know, with these supports, working together, that might be the bridging gap to reach teams of Miyabi's DPS or her stature, or maybe even just close, maybe not exactly Miyabi's power level. But with the power level that Miyabi has at the moment, I don't know that I can comfortably say she'll be power crept. I mean, it is a gacha game, so inevitably that will happen. I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Like anytime soon, in the near future, I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, maybe with some crazy set bonuses and some crazy, actual supports themselves on the same team, maybe it'll be close, but I don't think they're going to outshine Miyabi right away. And think about it. If Astra Yao really is an insane support and you pair her with Miyabi, that gap will become even bigger between Miyabi and the other characters. So you may want to put Astra Yao on the other teams to raise them up and catch them up, make the older teams powerful instead of giving Miyabi even more power, right? She can be that balance and she can be that character that really elevates the other characters, but that's your call. Personally, I think the Zenless team wants titles to mean something. You know what I mean? Like, not just through the story, but also through the gameplay too. Like, they want Void Hunter to mean something, right? So like, it would shock me if the very next CPS just freaking craps all over. And going back to playstyles, Evelyn specifically is going to have a very different playstyle from Miyabi, right? And of course, each character going forward. But Evelyn specifically, maybe her teams are a lot more flexible. Maybe her W engine options are a lot more flexible. Maybe her signature W engine is not 40% above every other free-to-play option. You know what I mean? And you can bet with the phenomenal animation team at Zenless, you're gonna have animation power creep. So if you think Miyabi looked cool, I mean, just wait for the next character and the next character and the next character, right? The animation is just gonna be, it's gonna power creep every single time. So my answer is no. I do not think Miyabi is too strong. I don't think she's too much for the game. I think she's exactly where she should be as a Void Hunter and within the game's universe, right? AKA, that's what's expected of a Void Hunter, right? I feel like these titles really mean something in this game, or at least I hope they do. So far, it does to me. Now, is Miyabi a bit jarring for a player who played in 1.0 and came back in 1.4? Yes, it's pretty freaking jarring. It absolutely is. And I mean, like, even ice resistant enemies don't stand a chance against Miyabi. So like, let's say you pulled Alan Joe in 1.0 and you're coming back right now. You're just like, what the freak is this game? Like, this is worse than Star Rail. Like, it'll be like in terms of power creep, right? Like, holy crap, right? But if you've been playing the whole time, you'll be like, oh damn, like this character really just kind of shut them down. But yeah, if you're somebody coming back, god dang, man, that's like, a rude awakening. And that might actually discourage players. Imagine, like I said, you come back from Ellen Joe and then you see Miyabi, you're like, how am I going to keep up if it's this bad, But don't worry though, I wouldn't even say it's like that. Like, Miyabi's a lot stronger, yes, but once again, it doesn't make the other characters obsolete. But your likes and your dislikes play an obvious part in your experience in the game and the characters you like. So maybe the strength is not what attracts you. Maybe the design is not what attracts you. Like for Miyabi, for instance, maybe a certain faction doesn't really do it for you. And if that's the case, then the future awaits. But if you do have Miyabi, or you have a pre-build ready for her when you actually pull her, what's your build looking like right now, right? For me, for example, I was trying to hit the 100% crit rate, like, with the passive and stuff like that. So I wanted like 88 because you get 12% from the set. The set's actually kind of busting in itself, but yeah, you get 12% is if you do freeze or shatter, which you will do, right? So I'm at like 99% crit rate, and then this is 128, but it's plus 50 because of W engine. Actually, my very first W engine I ever got. That's like an S rank limited one. So yeah, I don't think I'll continue doing this at all, but for Miyabi, I kind of had to, right? But yeah, it's going pretty well. Elfie is just the GOAT, the Bardic Needle. It's just great. It's a great system. Just actually have a thing that you can go to kind of just get better pieces if you don't want to farm a certain set. But I'm running attack because it just worked out for me. Anomaly Mastery also works pretty well too. But yeah, Anomaly Mastery, attack, ice, pen, attack, crit rate, I'd say, but you can do crit damage if you have insane crit rate rolls. And yeah, going off of that. I've tried her with and without W engines. I've tried her with this instead, and it still was like, what the heck? Like, how are you this strong? But yeah, she's freaking good, man. She's very strong, and she set the precedent. She is a Void Hunter after all. You see the name, you know, under her name. But I'm having a blast with her. And I'll say I love to play different teams in this game. So just because she's so strong doesn't really make me only want to play Miyabi, right? Like, I love the animation in this game, and I love, like, you know, playing the different characters and, you know, collecting them. So it's, you know, for me, it's like, I want to play Haramasa, you know, I got to build him still because he's freaking cool, right? He's a really standout, like, slept on character. You know, I want to play my Bernice here and there. I want to, you know, do Yanagi stuff on her own team. I want to play Jane Doe still, you know, so what the heck? I just realized her symbol was different. But anywho, it's cool to play, you know, the other characters. So it's not like I'm only going to play Miyabi now. The new Deadly Assault wants you to play 3 teams anyway. So good luck with that. But yeah, it's freaking cool. It's great. She's a great character. And all she's done is just made me more excited to see what comes next. So if I'm wrong about the whole power creep situation in this game going forward, come back and clown me in the comments. If I wasn't, leave a like. But yeah, man, if you need some more polls for Miyabi, need some more polychromes, then you gotta sign up for LootbarGG. With LootbarGG, they offer up to 15% off your in-game purchases. That includes games like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, and even Zenless Zone Zero, and plenty more. So hit that link below. You can see people's experiences here. They've had a great time with it so far, especially for Zenless Zone Zero. Even creators like Riding Shotgun and Tevat Times, they've also used LootbarGG. Look how much you save. There's the official in-game price versus what you get with LootbarGG. Here's how it works. You create an account, at no cost, by the way. No premium account, no subscription. You simply pick the amount with how much you want to top up with. On the right-hand side there, you can actually enter your UID, which is going to be from your Zenless account. You can find that within the actual game. On the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, make sure you pick the correct server region for your account. After that, you hit top up now. You're gonna have this little pop-up. It's gonna have your information there. Make sure that's correct. You hit confirm purchase. On this screen, you'll hit pay now. And after you hit this button, very shortly, boom, look at that. You're all set. Easy, it's quick, and more importantly, it's secure, 100% safe. So once again, link in the description box below. Click on that, don't miss it. And lastly, thank you, LootbarGG.